Now the listings tab tells us how many listings you have across the board. Now a listing would essentially be a search engine listing, a review site listing like Yelp, or a directory listing such as the BBB or Yellow Pages, or social sites. Okay, so it's broken down into those 4 particular categories. Okay, we'll call them source types, search engines, review sites, directories, and social sites. Okay, so this gives us that score right here. Okay, that listing score. Now we can see that 5 are accurate, 6 with errors, and 2 not found. So we can go ahead and scroll down and see. So we have a review site here that says listing not found, and then it says view possible matches. So if we're going to click on that, it says, well, here's a possible match. And we can see that this particular business shares this address with a few other businesses. We can tell that obviously this, because it's a taxi cab company that we're talking about, this is not the business. So there's a couple choices. We can go ahead and create a listing from this particular review site simply by going, we can right click, open the new tab, and we can go check that out. Or we can just not worry about it at this time. But I do advise, if you do get something where it says listing not found, I do advise that either you go ahead and create that listing yourself, or you contact us and we can do that for you. Here's one that says listing found with possible errors. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and see the details. Okay, so it says Bluebird Cabs, and then it has our address here. Okay, and what it's doing is it's cross-referencing this information with the information that we have provided. Okay, so there are some alternatives to a business name, and when you go in and edit your business information, you have the opportunity to create what's called common business names, so those particular errors won't show up. Now, I've just added this particular common business name, so what will happen is tomorrow, that listing will repair itself, okay? So let's go back to our reputation. And the listings. Now, if you notice that there is a listing here that it's relatively correct, so the phone number is correct. We also have an area in your business reputation area to add particular call tracking numbers. So if you have more than one phone number, this would correct. Again, we just added this for this particular business. So tomorrow that will get fixed and that will get fixed. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, that it's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and ignore the errors because it is a correct listing, and we did alleviate these particular errors by adding those particular things. So I'm going to go ahead and say ignore errors, and as you can see, it's changed from the caution symbol to the check mark. Now, if we scroll up, we can see that our listing score has increased. Again, so here's our directory, 411.ca. We can check it out. So we can see that, again, it's pretty much the same. Okay, so we can go ahead and ignore those errors because it is the same information. Generally, though, you want to keep things very correct. So we can see here, again, the address is the same, so we can go ahead and ignore those errors. So let's scroll up and check out our listing score. All right, so our listing score is much better. Okay, so this gives you an idea that how you can easily go and take a look at listings. You can correct listings. You can contact us to correct them for you. Okay, so it gives you a really nice snapshot as to how you're doing in terms of consistency across the board. Okay. Now we can also look at other citations. Now a citation is essentially a mention of your business on the internet. Okay, so we can see that there's a variety of different websites that have mentioned our business across the board. So we have a New Zealand TripAdvisor here, and we can open up that link and we can take a look at that source if we wanted to, and we can see how, what they said about us and whatnot. So it's a great way to monitor other kind of mentions. Now here on the next tab, we have something called statistics. So this gives us an idea as to how we're doing in terms of our presence score. Okay, so generally you want to see either this graph going across the board like it is here, or going up. Okay. Same thing with citation stats. So we want to see this. We want to see more mentions of our business. So we want to see this graph going up. Okay. Now, the last thing that you can see here is that we can print our listings report. So if we wanted to print that, we can go ahead and do that. And that creates a nice listing report here that you can print and hand over to your marketing managers, your CEOs, and whatnot. Okay.